In 1988, DC Comics published a phone number. Two phone numbers, actually. One if you wanted Robin to live. One if you wanted Robin to die. This was not a metaphor. DC had set up a 900 number, the kind you paid to call. They ran the vote for 36 hours. When it was over, 5,343 people had voted to kill Jason Todd. 5,271 had voted to keep him alive. The margin was 72 calls. DC killed him. Batman, A Death in the Family. Batman issues 426 through 429. Written by Jim Starlin, illustrated by Jim Aparo. Published in 1988, during one of the darkest stretches in the character's history, a period when DC had decided that Batman needed to be stripped of everything comfortable. Everything safe. Everything familiar. Jason Todd was the second Robin. He had replaced Dick Grayson, the original, who had grown up and left. Jason was different, harder, angrier, more reckless. Readers had mixed feelings about him from the start. He felt like a replacement. He felt like a reminder that Batman's first partner was gone. DC had gotten letters. The story begins with Jason's personal crisis. He has learned that the woman who raised him may not be his birth mother. He goes looking for the truth, and the search takes him somewhere no teenager should go. The trail leads, through stages, toward the Joker. The Joker who has somehow, improbably, acquired a new role in the chaos of the Middle East, selling weapons through the United Nations. Jim Aparo draws this story with a weight that most superhero comics never carry. The panels are dense with consequence. Batman is drawn older here. More tired. Moving through a world that seems designed to take things from him. When the Joker appears, there is nothing funny about him. Aparo's Joker is specifically, deliberately cruel. Not chaotic. Not theatrical. Just cruel. And then it happens. The Joker finds Robin. And what follows is not the usual supervillain confrontation that gets undone next issue. What the Joker does is specific and physical and terrible in a way that superhero comics almost never allow. He uses a crowbar. Batman comes. Batman is always too late in the stories that matter. The warehouse explodes. Batman carries Jason out of the wreckage. The image, Batman in his cape, holding the broken body of a teenager, is one of the most reproduced panels in the history of the medium. It became the image that defined the era. It defined what Batman was now. Not a hero who prevents tragedy. A man who arrives after. DC had made this story knowing the vote. Jim Starlin was told before he began writing that the story would end with Robin's death. The vote was the audience's choice in how to get there. What the vote revealed, uncomfortably, was that a significant portion of Batman's readers wanted to see this. Wanted it badly enough to pay to say so. Comics historians have argued about what that means ever since. Some say it reflects something about Jason specifically, that the readers weren't voting against Robin, just against this one. Some say it reflects something darker. That audiences, given the chance to choose violence against a character they'd been told to like but had never loved, would choose it. DC was reportedly surprised by the margin. They had expected the vote to be closer. They had expected, maybe, for Robin to survive. He didn't. The death of Jason Todd changed Batman permanently. Not just in the comics. It established that Batman could lose. That the people standing next to him could die. That the story was not protected by the usual conventions of the superhero genre. After Death in the Family, Every person who put on that costume carried the weight of what had happened in that warehouse. There would be other Robins. Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Damian Wayne. Each one arrived in the shadow of this story. Each one existed inside the knowledge of what could happen. Jason Todd himself came back, eventually, that's comics. But the story of his death, and the vote that made it happen, remains one of the most uncomfortable moments in the history of the medium. A story where the audience was handed a choice and a significant portion of them chose this. Batman, a death in the family. 72 calls. 1 crowbar. The moment that proved readers were willing to follow Batman into the dark, and the moment DC discovered how dark that actually was.